Hi, Casey Lund with Warrensburg Collision here, and I'm actually at Bob's Site Collision Center in Lee Summit, and I came up here to experience the morning meeting here at your guys' shop, and to see how you guys are applying lean concept, but also specifically the 2-second lean approach. And I kind of came up here to rob some ideas from you, because you guys are rock stars and really killing it. So I came up to experience it. And tell us a little bit about your morning meeting, kind of recap what we talked about today, and then maybe we'll get into kind of what we're struggling with and stuff. So
our morning,
Chris Norris.
Yeah, thank you. Our morning meeting consists of obviously the cars that need to go home for the day. We go through the 8 waste. We have been studying the 2-second lean for the last about 2 months.
And you guys have been doing that differently than us. So you've actually been going through the group, or the book as a group.
2 chapters at a time.
We actually went through and just say, hey, handed out the book, say, hey, you guys figure it out.
Right.
And then we watched the videos. But I like that you went through, and you seem like you get a pretty good understanding by going through chapter by chapter and covering it and answering questions and discussion. So maybe we take some time to do that.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Did a couple of chapters each day. As we've gotten through this, so now we study the 8 waste every single day, trying to get that through so everybody understands what we're doing.
And the waste today was
defects.
Thursday, defects. So we talked about defects.
So we actually use that in relationship to what happened yesterday. We went through a couple of defects yesterday.
Real world examples. You're always able to reinforce
with
that.
The group, and they cool. Actually they knew that yesterday when those defects happened. Right, we had a guy send a car through body into paint that had damage on it. When it got painted, we found it. We wasted time. We had to move the car. We had all these things happen. So we got to use real world trials and tribulations to...
Yeah, and you focused on the process, not the
right.
not the person, and try to improve it. And you talked about it together this morning as a group,
right.
And said, hey, well, this is what happened. How do we make it better?
Right.
So always trying to get better every day. Very cool.
So we have our TV. We do a little bit of video each morning. We can do audio or videos. We pull a lot of stuff off of YouTube.
And you're doing something different than we are. You're using, what's that called? Like the Apple
TV.
Apple TV. So very, very cool. He's got his iPad over here, able to drop it on. And something cool about that is you're able to track the videos that you're showing.
Correct.
Where me, I'm chasing, we're so far in now that I don't know what videos I've shown and which ones we haven't shown. So I'm struggling. I'm over processing, trying to remember and figure that out. And you've got the playlist. So that's cool.
Absolutely. And anything else we have extra, we put obviously our cars for today.
So production plan as well, and then a little bit of lean. And you've been doing the production meeting, stand-up meeting for years, right?
Right. In the old meetings, in the old days, we just talked about what we needed to get rid of, right? I need A car, B car, C car,
right,
and then go to work, right? We never talked about how to improve anybody's life. We never talked about how to
how to get better. It was
right.
just, hey, fix the cars and get it done. Let's go.
Let's go put out fires. It was kind of how we use the analogy. So now we discuss what cars need to go home. We discuss the word of the day.
So what was the word of today?
Today was defect. We actually had a couple of bonus words, integrity and allegory. Allegory was in relationship to a story. I had to look it up. I didn't know what it meant.
I still don't. You got me there.
Allegory is a symbolical narrative.
Very cool.
So we'll share that story actually tomorrow, but Casey was nice enough to add to some of our product today and share his stories as well, kind of reinforce what we've been talking about.
Yeah, I mean, we're all going through the same thing.
Right.
We all started the 2-second lean, or even the lean for 2 or 3 years ago. Now we're getting into trying to simplify the process with the 2-second lean, and we're all struggling with the same thing. And so why not get together, have the meeting of the minds, and say, hey, how do we get better together? And now we're even talking about how do we get the industry to move forward, and it's just great stuff.
Right,
great
right,
stuff.
And I think we'll be game changers.
Yeah.
I believe we'll share these videos and be able to help our other shops in the area do a better job, and maybe create some new standards so that not only do we have to change within, we also have to change the insurance companies too.
Yeah, so we're trying to start a discussion and to see how we get stuff better. We're in a real life here. We're in a collision shop, and it's noisy. And these are things that we struggle with every day. We may be on the phone, we may be having a conversation with a colleague, and you still got to keep working. So, but there's ways around it. We definitely want to tear down those walls. We don't want to go hide in the office, but being out here on the shop floor struggles, but we can deal with that. Yeah, no big deal.
Absolutely right.
And today we kind of sparked some discussion because we kind of went through what we're doing at Warrensburg Collision and how it applies, and we got off on the tangent of cycle time and variation a little bit when we talked to the defects, and we even talked about, kind of backed up and said, okay, what's the concept of the cycle time and what are we trying to improve and how do we go about that? And we talked about Little's Law, the law of the funnel, and inventory and how that work in process and the output rate affects that, and which one we can manage and which one we can change, and the pitfalls of lowering that. We know that cut work in process in half, and there's half your cycle time. Yeah, but there's struggles that come along with that, because what if we don't have enough buffer inventory to keep everybody working? So it's a double-edged sword, and the real root of the problem is defects, which is
the word of the day.
Wrong parts, supplements, waiting on insurance authorization, approval, that kind of thing.
Bad estimates, bad paperwork.
So those are the problems, not other things. So we're trying to focus on fixing those processes, which everybody in the old collision center days was, we can't fix that, we can't wreck them, we just fix them. But we can manage that process better to help manage, that there is only one supplement, or in this case we're talking about maybe even one estimate.
Right.
We think that we're over processing by writing the first estimate. If we know there's going to be hidden damage, why place 2 parts orders? You're over processing. There's a lot of multiple invoices, a lot of things that come with that, which is waste.
Right.
Some of it may be necessary waste, it may not, and we've got to figure out a process. And for us, it's not just collision center. We've got to get the insurance company on board with our process, and we can let them know that we're going to be doing it faster by doing this, but we've got to have some data to back that up.
Absolutely.
And also start a conversation, because we're talking about changing the industry, not just our shop. So that's and there's going to be barriers to that, and we're going to struggle, but starting with the conversation is where it starts.
We've had some aha moments this morning with Casey, kind of telling his story and how things have worked at his shop. Where our pay plans are a little different. Those are some of the old traditional ways. We're trying to get around that. I think we made a big hurdle today, and I believe that's in the next few months that we'll be able to create a better environment to be able to allow departments to work with each other in the overall goal to get the car out for the customer.
That's right. So the systems view that we talked about, that dimming approach, and removing barriers, removing silos, and working together and kind of working towards that downstream customer. We talked about the traditional mindset of flag hours. So I'm here to produce flag hours, and if I'm stacking up inventory, I just keep stacking up inventory. Well, that's not necessarily good, because that affects our work in process, which affects our cycle time. So how do we go about that? And there's a larger conversation there to have, and we started having that this morning. So I think the key is to understanding the way, starting with the 8 ways,
right,
and then seeing how that we can make those small improvements, and not just looking at the first result of the problem. That's not necessarily the problem. Ask why 5 times to get to the real root of the problem, and that's where the solutions are going to come from.
I think Paul Akers was right. You'll have to be able to see waste to find it, and we're working on that every day, trying to get everybody to understand and do what we need to do.
Yeah, very cool. Well, I appreciate you letting me come and be a part of your morning meeting this morning, and the stuff that you guys are doing is awesome, and being recognized for cycle time awards, for insurance companies in the state of Missouri and stuff. That's great, and so you guys are rock stars, and I can see the tides changing, and then the ship's starting to turn, the culture's starting to build, and you have the results to back that up. So very, very cool, and congratulations to you and your team for that. So I appreciate that. And stay tuned for next time with Warrensburg Collision, as we talk about our lean journey and the struggles that we go about it. It's not all
there'll be more to add.
Yeah, more to add, and we struggle with something every day, but we're always trying to get better every single day, and sometimes that involves getting out of the office, out of the comfort zone, and going on somebody else's shop floor. So thanks for allowing us to do that and learn. So
thank you very much.
All right, take care, everybody.